Welcome to Above the Rings post show covering both Great American Bash from NXT, and we'll go back a couple weeks and we'll talk ROH Death Before Dishonor. I am your host, Wrestling's Voice of Reason. My name is Scott, and with me today is the man in black himself, Ethan. Ethan, how we doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good. We're come off a great show last night, especially the main event, but we'll get into it. Ring of Honor from 9 days. 9 days.
Nice callback. I like that.
If anybody's wondering or forgot, basically during the first couple episodes of Dark Elevation, Tony Khan came out and said 9 days to Omega for Matt Sydal. So if anybody forgot, that's the joke there. 9 days.
Goes way back. I love it.
Pandemic era.
Oh yes, going back in time. So we'll talk Great American Bash first, because obviously that just happened. It's still fresh in our minds. We'll go over the show. So, but before we do that, make sure you guys follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Above the Ring. You can follow us on Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss any videos like this one. At _ Above the Ring. That's right. You can also follow us on Facebook at Ship It Above the Ring. And you can find our podcasts on basically every podcasting platform that is out there. So, going into Great American Bash, we had 7 matches on this card, including one on the pre-show, which I know we were all joking about this before. They haven't done pre-show matches in like forever. And all of a sudden they decide, hey, it's a good idea to do a pre-show match for this.
Yeah,
So,
you believe me. I said that's a joke, and you're like, yeah, no, okay. And then
I know. Then they end up doing it anyway. So it's like, well, shit. Okay.
since Clash of the Castle was last pre-show that I could go back to for pre-show match was Clash of the Castle last, which was great. But I mean, honestly, I don't really pay attention to pre-show anymore. I just really watch it for like the matches if they do any. Other than that, I just have it on as background, or I just wait till the actual pay-per-view starts.
Exactly. So with this, we kicked things off with Team International, which I believe is what you said when you did your picks. It was Nathan Frazier, Yulisa Leon, Valentina Flores. I butcher the names and I feel terrible for it. And Dragon Lee taking on Metaphor, which I love. I just love the name. It's Noam Dar, Jakar Jackson, Lash Legend, and Ora Mensa. I actually really enjoyed this match. I did not expect this to be as good as it was. They had a good 11 minutes, which is wonderful to see. And Team International got the win. So
yes. Yeah, I said that. I was like, oh, I don't want to call it Lee and Friends. Well, there's also 2 Lees on the show, but I was like,
right.
Fuck it, international. Sounds like a start of a bad joke.
I know, right?
But I honestly with this 8-person tag, I was like, oh, I kind of brushed it off at first, and then shut me up. But I actually really enjoyed it, especially Mensa, MVP of the match, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Jarka Jackson's improving. Legend's getting there too, and then Leon and Faraz are pretty good as well. I mean, honestly, I'm just shocked they haven't had a tag title match, but that's another topic for another day. But
right.
Yeah, I give it a 7 out of 10, honestly. But I thought Metaphor would win just because I thought Noam Dar would try to do the undisputed Heritage Cup stuff. Right. But I'm kind of glad Frazier and Lee won. So
exactly. So our good friend Justin chiming in kickoff match was surprisingly awesome for a match that had very little interest and exceeded expectations. That is exactly correct. It's nice to see them get some time to shine. And yeah, it wasn't on the main show, but to have a platform to do this, that's pretty good. I liked it quite a lot.
And thank you to Good Old Boys Fantasy Football for a great show.
Yes, thank you guys. Appreciate you as always. Our good pals over there at the Good Old Boys Fantasy Football. Some good stuff. So that match. What did you give that? What was your Ethan rating for this match, sir?
7 out of 10. I
It's
thought
pretty
this,
good.
bro. Like I said, Scott, before we move on to the main show, does it? Do you get cruiserweight, light heavyweight title division fives off the Heritage Cup? Slash
Yeah,
everything.
a little bit, yes, a little bit. I honestly, I'm a little sad that they did away with the cruiserweight championship. I mean, I understand like they don't want to do like weight limits and stuff like that. I get that, but it's nice to have that extra, a little extra bit, to go in. And so I don't know. I'm like on that thin line of like I like having a lot of championships, but I don't like a lot of championships at the same time.
Yeah, right.
So it's kind of like in that weird area. Like if they called it like the light heavyweight championship, I
Yeah,
personally like that much more than cruiserweight. It also bumps up the weight class, and there's more time to have more people in the division. But I mean, I guess that's what 205 Live was back in the day, but that disappeared too. So we'll see.
I'll talk about the North American title match later, but that title has a lot of cruiserweights, quote unquote.
That is very true. That is very true. But our first match of the show itself was for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It was the family, Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo, taking on and defeating Gallus Boys, who are no longer on top. It saddens me a little bit because I do love my Gallus, but it was definitely time for Tony D and Stax to get a win here. Yeah.
You deserve it.
Exactly. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out if Tony D's whole thing with him getting pinched was legit, if it was an injury, or if it was just storyline the whole way. But I thought they did it beautifully. It actually got me invested like a lot. Like I was like, it did Stax turn on him too? And it kind of reminds me of Two Dimes back in the day, like when before he got thrown off the bridge, which whatever, sleeping with the fishes. It is what it is. But yeah, it's just it was a good closing moment. And I'm wondering now what's next for the family. Who's next to step up to go after them?
Ooh, that's tough there. No, I honestly they deserve it though. Justin, I agree. Story absolutely called for Tony Stacks to win the titles.
Yeah.
I just went 6 out of 10. Like it was, I mean, I think this was the shortest match of the show, or second shortest.
Second shortest, yeah. But it was good.
Which
I mean,
I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go too long, but honestly, they needed to win it. I like Gals too, kind of, not as much as Scott, but but honestly, it was time for them to lose them. Honest, they finished their story.
they did. Yeah, I know. I see what you did there. So, moving on to our Weapons Wild match, which I thought was ridiculously good. Roxanne Perez finally getting the best of Blair Davenport. This match was absolutely brutal. I love the fact that Roxanne's mother and younger sister was there. Blair doing a great job kind of like feeding into the family being there, like mocking and like taunting both. Yeah, exactly. It's just it just fed it so much more. And Roxanne getting the win here, I think, was the absolute right call. It's not really going to hurt Blair all that much. She's going to go off and torment somebody else, and hopefully that'll still put Roxanne into a position where she can start getting ready to challenge the NXT Women's Champion going forward.
I can't talk. No, I really enjoyed it. I just went 7 out of 10 as well. I messaged you during the match where she did the splash on the top, like she's hardcore. She's hardcore.
I was actually kind of worried. I'm like, is she gonna actually break this table? I'm like, she's not. She weighs like, I don't know, 95 pounds soaking wet. So I don't know if she's actually gonna break this table. But yeah,
I had a friend of mine watch the show. He's like, GC Dub, GC Dub. I'm like, no, add light tubes, then you can chant GC Dub.
Right.
But I like the call where Blair yelled at Booker T, and then I like, since they're in Texas, WWE, no DQ tables, chairs, candlesticks.
Yep.
At least in NXT, at least they do it a little different, like garbage cans, and I think there was a golf club. I think I see, or an iron, like the poke cows.
I think it was a branding iron.
Branding iron. That's what I was looking for. Terry Funk's in the test.
I was watching. I'm like, is that a branding iron? I'm like, what is going on here?
Did Terry Funk produce this match?
Right? Exactly. My God.
bull rope. I saw a bull rope in there.
Yes, yep, that's a Dusty Rhodes classic right there. So that was a lot of fun.
But Blair's a great heel, and honestly, I mean, they got one win each. They got to do like a 2 out of 3 falls match or something.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know.
2 out of 3 falls title, baby.
Maybe. Yeah, I think for now the story might be done, but you never know if they might pick it up later on. But yeah, Justin saying Blair did a fantastic job playing off of Roxanne's mom and sister being in the crowd. Story was simple. It certainly was, and it worked real well. It was very effective, and of course, having that great match. So yeah, it was. For me, I think that might have been my second favorite match of the night.
Yeah, I go second or third or 2B.
2B, yeah. So our next match was the match that caused a lot of interesting things to happen with our picks. We'll talk about our picks after we talk about the rest of this show and ROH. But it was the in-ring debut of Gable Steveson taking on the new and improved, the ship-burning man himself, Baron Corbin. Also, gotta say, NXT did a fantastic job with Corbin's new theme. The whole presentation, beautiful. Loved it. Thought it was great. The match itself, it was a match. It ended in a double count out. So no clear winner here. It is what it is. We're starting a story. Now it's going to continue on. Thinking about it, hindsight being 2020, this was actually I think the correct call for this match, because you got a debut and you have a repackaged wrestler. You don't want to have a loss right off the bat for either one of them. So you want to build into it. So the next show for NXT is at No Mercy. I don't know if this is going to last all the way till there. That would be a very, very long time. But I think we could definitely have something maybe going into obviously into next month, since this is the end of July. Maybe, I don't know. Depends. Gable seems very capable of being able to pick this up real quick and do a good job. And obviously Corbin's going to make him look like $1 million in the whole process. So what did you think about this match?
We heard let's go Corbin chant. What
right?
is going on?
Where are we?
I was like, are we in Canada? I know Canadian towns are a little wacky. We we cheer the bad guys and boo the heels. Well, except for Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic has universal hate. We'll talk about that in a little bit too.
Yeah, but yeah, we all got fucked over with this pick. I'm just gonna spoil that one. I was like, damn it. But
no, it's true, we did.
But I kind of agree with you. This was a good call, and then it's funny. The people in text are like, "Boo, Gable," and then Corbin's like, "Let's go, Corbin." I'm like, oh my god, they actually cheering for Corbin,
right? Like, wait a minute, this doesn't happen.
Are you feeling okay, Texas? But
yeah,
I don't know. But I give this one 5 out of 10. Weakest thing on the show, honestly. But I like how people were talking about the promo on Tuesday, how they didn't bring up how Corbin retired Angle, but like we don't need to compare that. But.
Yeah, I mean they kind of actually they kind of touched on it a tad bit during the kickoff show when they were showing like accolades between the two. So I mean it was there, and Corbin also had if I remember correctly, he had a kickoff interview and they talked about how he's gonna, remove a second Olympic wrestler from WWE. So
good point, Justin.
We'll see. Yeah, Justin saying WWE has to fully commit on Gable Stevenson's debut, because so far they've done this commit. Just continue to tease it. It's very true. If they continue,
it's damn true.
I know, right? Yeah, I like the callback, sir. If they continue to tease for too long, nobody's going to care when it actually happens. That is very true. That is very true. They definitely need to have him come in. Maybe his first match doesn't have to actually have a finish with Corbin. Maybe Corbin can throw people in his way, or I don't know. They'll figure out some way to get this to continue moving on. But I feel like this is going to be a good debut for Gable. I think that they'll obviously have him go over in the end. Corbin, as much as I love Baron Corbin, I don't see him getting the win here for this.
No, you know, you know what you could do. You could bring down the other Gable. I think you.
I mean, I would not be opposed to him joining the Alpha
Hey,
Academy.
well, technically they could have a match, but this is why I say this. Do you remember WrestleMania in that Raw tag title match last year?
Yep.
Do you remember when Gable Stevenson suplexed the other Gable, Chad
Yep.
Gable, and then hey, technically Chad Gable has a receipt for him.
I mean, that's true. I mean, he could, Corbin could come in and, bring him in. I would not be opposed to having more Chad Gable on my television.
Let's have a amateur underground match.
We could have an NXT Underground match with those two. I would totally be all about that. There'd be no shushing whatsoever.
And then David Kemp on Twitter is like, if you had trained with the right person, you would have won. I'm like, okay, that was pretty funny.
Oh, David Kemp. We're not gonna touch that one with a 10-foot pole.
Basically, they're like brothers, but they don't want WWE just want you guys to know that. But we all know they're brothers,
right? Yeah. But speaking of, we talked about this before. Things that are universally hated. The next match was the triple threat match for the North American Championship. It was Wesley, Mustafa Ali, and of course, Dirty Dominic Mysterio with Mommy in tow, and Dom getting the win, retaining the title. It was almost a foregone conclusion before this match even started, because I feel like there are big things ahead for SummerSlam when it comes to Judgment Day. I feel like this might be their crowning time as a group before things just completely implode. So having Dom lose the title was never really a reality, at least in my thought process when it came to this. But this match was good. Obviously, we all knew Rhea would get involved, and she certainly did. But I still feel like this was a good match. What did you give this one for a rating?
7.
7 out of 10. All right.
I liked it. I liked how Wesley was gonna do a dive, and Ripley's like, nope. And
Yeah.
like, fuck this. And he
right.
And then Maria's like, well, you know what? Just for that, I'm gonna put your ass through a table.
Yep. That was
what a badass bitch in a good way.
God.
I'm honestly, if I had to stand across, I'll be like, I'm gonna go on your side. I'm gonna turn
right. I'm like, I will not argue with Mommy. It's not gonna happen. That you can't argue with Rhea Ripley. It's just,
you know what? Fuck it, give her a men's title. Fuck it, it's time.
I mean, honestly, shit, I'd have her challenge Gunther. She'll be the last one in line before he tops Honky Tonk Man's title. I think that would be absolutely hilarious.
This is like one of the easiest matches I think I had to pick.
Yeah.
And this match, 12 minutes, which is crazy.
Right? It didn't seem like it was funny. Like the tag team title match, I thought felt longer than 8 minutes and 43 seconds. And this triple threat match went a little hair over 12 minutes, and it felt like it was over in like 5. It's crazy,
right? I mean, that's because back for a sec, because like the Weapons Wild match went almost 12 minutes. Right. Stevens and Corbin went 6.5 minutes. I'm like, what? How's this almost over? Like, because I think the show went like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something.
We were flying. Like the show started at the kickoff started at 7, and we were done by 10:30. Which I kind of expected, but I felt like the matches might have had more time to breathe, but they didn't. They were just like zip, 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 zip. Like the only one that was really long was the last
main event.
Makes sense because it's the main event. But before we get to the main event, our next match, Tino, how you doing, brother?
You're doing well. Tino. But before we move on to the semi-main event, quote unquote semi-main event, but it was some of the spots were good. Like I like the the Dominance through the 3 Migos, and then Wesley and Mustafa did them, and then Mustafa doing the 450 on the apron, even though he crashed and burned. But like I said, Wesley doing the flip it and Ripley basically a receipt by putting him for the table. Yeah. I don't think it was supposed to break because she put him through it, and then like the tables nowadays are like if you, and then it just.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think she slammed him too far forward, so the front of it or the back of it fell forward and fell down, and the other part is still there, and then all of a sudden then it falls. It was an awkward crash, but yeah, seeing Ripley just completely destroy him was ridiculous. Exactly, yeah. Tino's saying he didn't expect Rhea to do that at all.
Nope.
Exactly, yeah.
No one did.
It was nuts. Yeah,
She's great though. I've said before on my show and other stuff, like, is the Judgment Day interviews getting too much? Yes, for my liking, but sometimes I could put it past, like when he won the title.
right.
Like, I mean, Wesley had that, what, 286 or something? I think they said
Yeah,
280 something.
I think he was like a week or 2 weeks away from having like the longest title reign ever. Like, I think even with combines.
Yeah, he was a week away or something. But like that, okay. Like, I know I'm being kind of hypocritical, but it's like I could put a time, like the double counter with Stevenson and Corbin. Like, okay, whatever. Like, but it's just like, yeah, I guess this makes sense. But honestly, this match was so easy to pick. Like,
Yeah.
I like Mustafa. I hope he gets a singles title run soon. Same with Gable. Speaking of Gables, oh yeah, I like Justin just brought this up. I didn't forgot about until he said that the Rascal wave.
Yes, the Rascal wave. Yeah, I saw.
Zachary wins.
Yeah, he talked about it on X. Like, yeah, I freaking hate that so much.
Fucking Twitter.
It's still Twitter to me. But yeah, I saw that too and I laughed. I'm like, that's fantastic.
I was like, there we go. Love trip. But I like how he's smart because you know how Ripley does the wave.
Yes.
And then I like how Wes flew over Dominic and he did that. And Ripley's like, all right, fucker, you're going for that.
Hey, through the table you go, sir.
But yeah, that was kind of awkward. Like, not in a good way though. But I like when Mustafa hit the 450. Like, I was like, oh fuck, no, I can't lose a point. Spoiler. And then Ripley,
I know, right?
And it's Rhea like, I didn't even realize. I thought she was a lot because the camera, it looked like she was like not like near the ring side. It looked like she was kind of closer to the barricade. I was like, she stretched or something, like,
right.
Then I was like, oh, okay, never mind. And then Dominic with the frog splash. He's got a nice frog splash.
He does. He really does. I love, what was it this past NXT where I think it was Mustafa Ali said that he stole the 619 from his daddy and then stole the frog splash from his other daddy.
I laughed so hard. But, actually, speaking of that, he was doing it up NXT, I think on Snapchat or something, and somebody asked him a question, and he talked about his father, and he talked about Eddie Guerrero. I'm like, oh my god, yes.
It was so good. It was so good. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Dominic, but that was top notch, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's like playing the longest of long games when it comes to that, with Dominic and Eddie and Ray way back in the, what was it, early 2000s or something, when they had the custody battle on a ladder match. It was just, yeah.
The teachers were worried, but it's but no, I really, because I was like, I part of me still wish I kind of got Wes and Mustafa, but whatever, change. Kind of subject to change, but hey, honestly, this impressed me. It's having and a Dominic was just like, okay, you two fight, and Wesley and Mustafa's like, no, we're gonna beat the fuck out of you.
I know, that was great too. Like, they're arguing in the beginning, and Dom's just like, I'm just gonna step back and let you guys fight it out, and then they're both like, wait a minute, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
You know, it's like I seen somebody did a meme. They're like the middle and older brother arguing, and the little brother's just like this. And then they beat him up.
Yep.
when you tell him mom, and then you guys start arguing.
That's right. Yes.
Fuck.
All right. So our second to last match was for the NXT Women's Championship match in a submissions match. It was the Barbie girl herself, Tiffany Stratton, taking on and defeating Thea Hale via technical submission, thanks to Andre Chase throwing in the towel at the very end of this match. Yeah, it was. I have to give major props to Thea Hale. She has improved a lot since she's come up. Tiffany Stratton, again, is she's still new, but she has those moments of brilliance, and it's just like, God, she's going to do so well as she moves on in her career. This match, for me, I think was maybe the sloppiest. And I don't mean that in like a horrible way, but Tiffany had major problems holding on to a Boston Crab at the very end. And I was like, if this was a 30-minute match, I can understand, but this match didn't go 12, and it's like maybe she's trying to sell the arm injury from Thea trying to slap on her submission. Maybe I don't know, but it was weird. Like she kept stumbling, and I don't know. It was weird, and of course the whole thing with Andre Chase throwing in the towel to end it was definitely a decision. I feel like obviously this is going to have ramifications moving forward. We talked about this actually before we got on. That Thea might maybe turn on Chase University. She'll enter the transfer portal and go back to Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey. Maybe they'll start a rival school, and then we'll have school versus school. Who knows? I don't know. We could have a lot of things.
Catch point.
Huh?
Catch point.
Catch point. Oh, here we go. I'd be all right. Completely okay with that. But who knows? I don't know. It could be interesting. But for me, I think this was probably the weakest for me.
Yeah, I second. I give it a 6 out of 10. It's still, I don't know. Like there's certain, like I remember they're on the top rope, and I think Theo was trying to give her a T-bone suplex or something, and Tiffany was kind of like trying to get her feet.
Yeah,
I was like, uh-oh. That bomb. I was like, uh-oh. She almost landed on her head.
I'm also kind of like sitting on my couch, like speaking to myself. I'm like, please don't die. Please don't die. I was waiting for the crowd to pick it up.
Please don't die.
I was waiting for the crowd to pick it up. Oh man, yeah.
That was Theo's guy. She'd be like, all right, let's fucking go.
Right? Yeah. He was like, we don't care. Let's go.
Well, I mean, she jumped off a cage of War Games with a trash can lid.
That was amazing.
A garbage can over her head.
Amazing.
What's up, Bodkin show?
Bodkins, my friends. How you guys doing tonight?
But I wasn't expecting the towel throw either, honestly. That kind of killed it for me a little bit, honestly. I get why he did it. But even everybody thought Duke was going to do, but Andre did it. I was like, really? And then I remember she had to come over and Tiffany glazed the mat.
Like I know she like tapped twice, and I'm like, wait, was that a submission? And then like the ref was just like, I don't know, I'm not gonna think that's an actual tap out, but I was like, come on.
And then she gets to the ropes, and then the ref was like, I forgot they don't do rope break submission matches.
Right.
But it's weird because like the last one I think it was like during the pandemic. I think it was Shayna and Natalia. I mean, if there was more before that, let me know but that was the one I looked up, and that was the last one I seen. And like they had the rope breaks, but in this one they didn't. I'm like, okay, can we get some rules on this? Like, I know you got obviously tap out, but like, is there rope breaks? Is there not? Is there DQs? Like,
I think that one, the one you're talking about, I think that was a mistake on the ref's part because they're so used to a match, like you hit the ropes, it's supposed to break the hold.
Oh yeah, probably.
But I think that was just a whoops. Let's not do that again type of situation. I don't think, because from what I remember with submission matches, it's always you grab the ropes all you want. It ain't gonna do a damn thing.
Yeah,
we're not breaking the hold.
Now I think it was an oopsies, but no, I liked their Gold Rush match a little bit better than this one. I would like.
I agree.
Out of the women's match this week, I mean, we saw the Britt Baker, but I'm not gonna get into that because they already got enough shit from there. And I mean, the worst I said it was just slop. Like they could have better matches, but
right.
I mean, some of the comments some piece of shit wrestling fan said, but I'm not gonna get into it. But you probably see them, Scott. And Justin, everybody's on this live. But some of the spot like the Boston Crab, oh my god, that was sloppy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I know they're still green. Like I'm not trying to be a dick here. I mean, but it was just like you couldn't stench that in a little harder.
Yeah,
where's Lance Storm? He'll teach you a better submission move.
Like I said, like if she was trying to sell the injury that Thea was putting on her, like by attacking her arm, I can get that. At one point, she did have a single leg Boston Crab, so I'm like, all right, well, you're using the other arm, the one that was not getting attacked so much. Okay, that can make sense. But then she even dropped that, and I'm just like, I don't know. It kind of fell flat at the end. And obviously, the towel being thrown in kind of was the icing on the cake for that. So,
did you find the crowd kind of dead for this match?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, they were kind of going insane for the North American Championship because they were giving out all their hatred towards Dominic. And so, yeah, I think it was kind of like the quiet match for everybody.
Like, I like both. Like, Thea Hill doing the Scrappy Doo. Let me at him, Scoob. Let me at him. But I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I don't really want to see a third match. To be honest with you,
I think now at this point, I think this was the ending of it for now, because I think now Thea's gonna turn in and be like, "Why did you do that?" Mr. Chase, and kind of just go from there. I think now it's going to be an internal thing with Chase University.
yeah.
This might even lead to her and Duke leaving and Andre being by himself. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Before we get to the main event, I lost my thought. I just have, but I don't know. It's like some of the submission moves, like it was kind of like slop. I like the surfboard. That was pretty cool from Tiffany, but like some of the other, it was just like, I don't know. I think they just don't do submission matches anymore, honestly.
Well, I mean, you can still do submission matches, but you need to do it with people who have a full repertoire of submission moves.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say, I had to rewind because I thought Dia passed out for some reason. I was like, really, off of Boston Crab?
No, oh, okay, yeah.
And
then he was screaming "ow" for like the last 2 minutes.
And then I seen that, and then the referee's like, "Oh, that's TKO." I'm like, "Come on, ref, really?" And then I had to go back on the Well, first I saw a towel because I didn't see Andre throwing it to the replay. I was like, "Did a fan throw a towel in? Like, what happened?"
Right,
and I see the replay. I was like, "Oh, which I was a little surprised. I thought Duke was gonna be the one doing it.
Exactly, yeah.
I was kind of expecting Duke to do it, to be honest with you, but Andre. But like you said, I could see her being like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Right.
Like that's twice now I had her beat pretty much, and then
yeah.
But honestly, like I don't really care if I see a match. But I mean, who does she face now? Like, who does Tiffany?
Honestly, I think Roxanne might be next.
That's the only one. Maybe Laria, if I can't read the day.
Well, I mean, yeah, she's gonna she has her own thing going with JC Jane, so we'll see how that goes. I would expect Lara to get the win over JC.
Oh God, I love how they're brawling in the back and Maria walked by and she's like, "Yeah, that a girl. That's what I want to see." I'm like, it's like, why does that remind me of high school? When the friend just walks, when the nice friend finally snaps, and then the bad influence is like, yeah, there you go.
That's what I like to see. Yep. Yeah.
I don't know why I found that so funny. Not them brought like just real. No, you see Rhea walking by, and she's like, "That's what I want to see." I'm like, when the nice friend finally snaps.
When they were just going absolutely insane. Yeah.
And speaking of insanity, I'll take it. Carmelo Hayes beats Ilya Dragunov 24 minutes 7 seconds. Wow, I don't smoke, but I need a cigarette after that match.
Seriously, like this is easily match of the year contender for WWE.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, and I know it's only July, but I mean, holy Christ, 24 minutes and 7 seconds.
It flew.
It did, and I don't get super jumpy when it comes to matches like near falls often.
I don't either.
I was on the edge of my seat for like the last 15 minutes of this match. It was absolute batshit crazy.
Oh my God. Oh.
I honestly, like, I picked Ilya to win. I was the only one in the group to do it because I felt like this was the time for Carmelo to drop the title and then him and Trek move over to the main roster, because there's the teasing going on with Bobby Lashley and with the Street Profits. So I'm like, oh my God, we're going to have a new 5-man mega group. This would be fantastic.
The Hurt Street business.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I like there was a couple of times, like Scott said, well, spoiler, he was the one to pick Ilya. Well, you already said it, but still, I thought Ilya had him like the jumping forearm.
Yes.
I was like, and then Carmelo kicked out. I was like, in a way, I was glad because, like, I wanted Carmelo to retain, but I was like, oh my God, I was on the edge. I was like, oh my fuck, come on. And then I like that cutter off the top.
Oh, that was.
I think Ilya,
what a beautiful counter.
Was he trying to go for a superplex? I think
he was.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And then Carmelo's like, nah, we're going for a cutter guy. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ,
beautiful. That was and then the coast to coast. Ilya tried to, and I think Carmelo hit a code breaker, and then Ilya kind of. People were saying, look, I mean, whatever. It was still a good counter, and then I like how Trick's like, come on, Carmelo. He had the title. And he's like, come on, are you
Yeah.
a fraud? I'm like, there we go. And then Ilya got hit with the belt. So technically, Ilya can have a case.
I mean, that's true. That is very true. I was going to bring that up, so I'm glad that you did. Yeah, when at the end of the match, when Ilya jumped out of the ring and accidentally hit Trick, he hit the title as well. So it's like there's a possibility Ilya might have a gripe here. So,
and the ref was like, I'm just gonna let it go. And people were like, I see people playing on X.
well, I mean, it was accidental. It's not like Trick was like throwing the title at him. Like,
no,
Ilya leapt over, missed Carmelo, hit Trick and the title, and they both crumpled to the ground. And Carmelo was smart enough to pick him up, throw him in the ring, and then drop nothing but net and get the win to retain his title.
I like that Twitch World DDT, the springboard DDT.
Yes,
I could see Carmelo using it as a finish, and then he's got fadeaways that springboard backwards leg drop.
Correct. Yep.
Obviously, he's like Gunther. He's got plenty of moves he can win with.
So good.
I thought he had him there a couple, and then Ilya was like, me and you were talking. You're like, I need this.
I know. Oh my God. And now it was my birthday weekend, and yeah, we'll talk about the points after we talk about our.
When I was giving it out too much, I wasn't trying to, but if now like Scott said for dirty Matt, yes, but for me, I watch a lot of wrestling, so overall, for people who don't know, well, Scott, you know, because I talked about multiple times. I'm doing top 506. I might have to bump it up to 600 because I'm almost at 500 now, and we're not even we're pretty much halfway done, and I'm almost at 500, Scott. Like
Jesus.
But anyway, so I'm at that. Anyway, point is, you might see that in the top 25 or 30. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, if me and you were just doing WWE, Scott, easily top 5. Along with the Intercontinental matches, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Rollins and Styles. I mean, the fucking Bloodline story stuff.
Yep.
I mean, I could just go on and on, but I mean, I won't have the list until like next year sometime. But you keep an eye out. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I look forward to reading that because I want to go back and try to watch those matches.
You're like, when I said that, you're like 25 or 30.
I was like, missing. I was floored. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "What am I missing in Japan?"
Everything, but
barely a lot. Yeah,
it's like let's say if I had to make a list right now just for like NXT, I'm just gonna combine them together. Easily, that match be like top 5 for me.
Nice.
Easily. Which is hard. I mean, I got my top 10 right now, honestly, 15.
Man's got high standards. I like it. That's good.
Hey, now, Ethan picks, if you're new, basically my scores, you have to get an 8 or higher out of 10. I mean, there's matches. Oh, yeah, by the way, speaking of Ethan picks, 15 out of 10 for this match. See? Ethan pick.
That's right.
So basically, if you get an 8 or higher, it goes on my match. Like, if it's 7 out of 10, like, it's still good, but I mean, like I told Sam on Rise of Sun, check it out on here. I'd be having 1,000 matches. I was like, okay, 8 out of 10. But this match, easily match of the night. This is Ethan.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it was real good. I look forward to Tuesday, seeing the fallout from this, and it's we're on to No Mercy. That is the next NXT pay-per-view or premium live event. Sorry,
fucking pay-per-views. I love how they're bringing back the old pay-per-view, like No Mercy.
Yes.
Great American Bash, Halloween Havoc.
Yep.
Well, technically they brought. I mean, they had Day to it, but I feel like if Judgment Day wasn't a group, let's just pretend it wasn't a group. I could see that being a pay-per-view.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that was a good one too back in the day. So yeah, it'll be. I agree. I like that they're bringing back the old WWF and WCW pay-per-views and making them their own. And now that they're going back out again, it's not just a super show on Tuesday; it's an actual premium live event.
Which I do like. I did mind the Tuesday shows. Remember Super Tuesdays?
Yeah, absolutely.
I kind of like how they're not doing. I kind of like when they did specials sometimes, but I hate it because of commercials. But I get it.
Correct.
USA or for me and Canadian listeners, Sportsnet, but still, I get it. But I'm glad they're not doing the special shows much anymore.
Right.
Just because I hate commercials. Like for me, like if it's a pay-per-view quality, like Braun and Ilya, like that match rule, but like commercials. But I get
commercials.
It,
like, even with the picture-in-picture, it's not the same. Like I don't care about what's going on with like all the fast food restaurants or the car commercials and all that. I want to watch these two guys beat the ever living crap out of each other. That's all I want. That's all I want.
I like how Eel was just chopping the shit out of him like Gunther chops. And
It's
also,
so
his
good.
chest is like, I think it was like, I'm like, oh my, I'm like, come on. I was listening to a podcast earlier, Poison Run. I'll shout them on the Post Wrestling feed. They were talking about how like basically Carmel was basically doing like an Ilya like match, and which is good because I mean I like Carmelo, but it's just like sometimes you always got to do different styles.
Right, exactly.
Now I kind of wish Ilya did win just for Braun, get that rematch. This time with the title, but I mean, I'm just trying to think who Carmelo faced now. I could see Wesley.
I mean, that's definitely possible. I mean, yeah, this is a good question. I mean, because thinking about like who's kind of in the upper echelon of NXT right now, it's I don't know, like because right now we have like Dijak and Eddie Thorpe are starting a program.
Well,
We
technically,
have
Finn Balor, I guess, since he pinned him twice. But I don't know. Would that be a downgrade for
I
Balor?
well,
Well, okay,
I
not
don't know. I
poor
mean,
choice of words, but
NXT is not a developmental really anymore. I mean, it's pretty much a third brand. Um, and I mean, Judgment Day's already down there because you got Dom as the North American champion, so it's definitely a possibility. So I don't know. It's good. It's one of those. It's one of those things for Tuesday. Or do we continue this program and you have Ilya come out and say, "Trick hit me with the title. I want a rematch."
I can see that.
Maybe they continue. I don't know. We'll see. Again,
Oh,
it kind of makes Tuesday more must see, which is what I
yes.
like.
I forgot to mention North. Like during the show where I think it was right before the women's title match where they did the backstage with Dragon Lee and Team International Sauber, and then I like how Dominic and Maria were basically making fun because I don't know. Did you see that clip where they were in Orlando last SmackDown? Not this past one, but the one before. And Dragon Lee met Rey Mysterio, where they had all the NXT crowds showing.
Yeah.
And then so basically he called him Rey Mysterio ripoff. I could see Dragon Lee going after the title.
That's very true too. Yeah, I could see it's kind of hinting at that Dragon Lee's next in line for the North American Championship. I could see him being the one to take it off of Dom.
I can too, to be honest with you. I knew I meant to bring that up during the, and I was like, then I got too excited with the other matches, but
that's fine. No, that's fine. That's what the after show part is for. We talk about all the other stuff.
But for Tuesday, they announced what just Dijak and Thorpe and Fakiri and Jane, wasn't it? That was the only two they announced so far.
I believe so. Yeah, just those two for now. So,
well, I'll say this show went by so quick.
It did. It did. Like, if NXT does anything besides put out quality matches, they're efficient with their time. They're 2.5 hours to 2:45 every single time. I'm not counting the kickoff show, obviously, but they're very efficient with their time, and I thoroughly enjoy that. It was nice. 10:30. I'm like, I got plenty of time before I go to bed now. This is great. It's not like watching an AEW pay-per-view when it's a 5-hour extravaganza with 30 matches and 15 of them are on the pre-show. So it's like,
oh my god! But it was just like I remember it was like 11 o'clock because I'm an hour ahead, Scott.
Yeah,
I was like,
ahead of us.
Oh fuck! It's the main event already. Like holy shit! Like I mean, like we said, the matches they just went by. Like I thought that NXT tag title match was like 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
I thought that North American title was like 15, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they felt longer, which is not a bad thing. Like it's
and I've been watching a lot of G1s.
Right, yeah. Oh god. Yes, and speaking of G1s, make sure you guys go on YouTube and watch Ethan's G1 recaps. They come out every single Saturday. He talks about, every week that happens in the G1. We're getting close now to finding out who's going into the quarterfinals or semifinals?
Yeah, quarterfinals. So as of right now, just spoiler, if you don't want to listen, just pause or mute for a few minutes. So an A block Sonata won with 10 points. So he and he has 2 matches left because 10 points, obviously. So basically everybody in A block is still fighting for, it's basically second place. So they're doing top 2, mostly in OG ones, it's 10 in each block. Basically, the whole point is it's finals, not top 2 from each block.
Right.
But this year they're doing 4, so 32, 8 in each, which I like, which you can listen to. And then the top 2 from each block meet in the quarter. So it's A1 winner versus the runner-up C. Basically, it's first place for second place winners. And then
right.
So yesterday was C and D, and then tomorrow, Wednesday, they got shows, and then they're off Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday is A block. So basically, after Wednesday, it's basically single block until quarterfinals, and then so basically in A block, we know Sanaa's in there, and we wait for
whoever's going to be second.
Yeah, and then B block that same night, Sanaa won. Okada basically could have too got the first place, but Ospreay stopped that. By the way, me and Sam have a point extra for G1 wins. He needs Shota to win, and then I need Will Ospreay, but it's close. It's close. But this Friday I'll be recording. What night? I gotta get my cheat sheet here. So basically, episode 3 will be nights 10 for 12, and like Scott said, they'll be up on Saturday. So
yep.
Another short week, and it just be me by myself unless I can find a last minute special guest.
That's fine. Yeah. The first episode I think was what 15 minutes or so, but this last episode was an hour and a half because you had a special guest on. So it's good. You guys should check it out. Ethan's doing a great job. He's bringing so many new eyes to Above the Ring. We truly appreciate him coming on board, and it's been a complete blast.
Well, speaking of tournaments, before we move on to Ring of Honor, I know Above the Ring, we go off the script.
What script? There is no script.
Okay, so we go off the handle.
That's right. There you go. Yes.
So speaking of tournaments, so Stardom's got their 5-star Grand Prix tournament. Noah starts theirs this Sunday with the N1 victory, basically G1. It's basically their version of G1.
Their version of G1, yeah.
Keep it first. Oh, by the way, keep an update on Facebook too. I post Pro Wrestling Noah, All Japan, Stardom, and New Japan on there. And New Japan's got retweets on X. But yeah, so lots of tournaments. So Scott's missing out.
I know. Because if you've been following Above the Ring for since we've been doing this, everybody knows I do love my tournaments. I do love my factions, and the fact that I just don't have the time to sit down and watch.
I know. I
hurts my soul. It truly does. It hurts my soul.
But we're almost at the end of G1. Is so last night will be August 13th.
Okay.
My mind for a second. So basically, the 10th is quarterfinals, 12th is semifinals, and then 13th is finals. Me and Sam will talk about the quarterfinals, semifinals, sometime after that.
Okay.
And then once we get to the Ring of Honor stuff, there is another tournament, Scott. Speaking of tournaments, we'll talk about in a sec.
This is the TV title tournament, isn't it?
Yeah. So this first one, before we get to Death for Dishonor, just right quick. So they did a 4-man. So Don Castle beat Tony Nese and Shane Taylor beat Sean Dean. Castle. I'm just gonna call this one the Death for Dishonor #1 contenders tournament.
Yeah.
And this one they're doing now is basically 8 men this time. Shane Taylor's in it. Tony Nese is in it again. Chris Daniels is in it. Because when they aired it, they didn't tell us the quarter. We didn't have brackets, so it's basically just
gotcha.
And then when they taped it this past Saturday on Collision, spoiler again, if you guys don't want to hear, just mute for a second. So it's Chris Daniels and Shane Taylor meeting semifinals, and then Gravity, and Tony Nese, and then the winners will meet Joe. Honestly, I hope this set, since Taylor's in this again, please give me Shane Taylor's mojo. Haas fight.
Oh my god, that would be.
He's underrated. He's so underrated.
He truly is. I've watched a little bit of his stuff in ROH before AEW bought them. Yeah, I loved his whole faction and everything that he had was just completely badass. So it's nice to see him still being there, still doing what he's doing, and just having a great time.
Poor Serpentico, he got his ass beat by Shane Taylor.
Well, I mean, Serpentico,
and then now he's got Chris Daniels, and Daniels is a veteran, but like I said, Shane Taylor's so fucking underrated, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%. But
and speaking of Ring of Honor,
yes, let's talk Ring of Honor. I know it's a little bit late. It's been what, 9 days? I think you said at the beginning of this.
9 days. 9 days.
But we didn't live tweet. We didn't talk about it, but it was one of our Above the Ring Ship It Studios points. So we'll go over the results real quick, and then Ethan can give his Ethan picks for the show, and then that'll be the end. That'll be the end for this today.
And then the points. So,
And we'll talk the points. Exactly. We have to talk the points.
All right. So, sorry,
so
Scott. Go ahead.
that's right. So our first match was Josh Woods getting the victory over Tracy Williams via submission. Second match of the, what are they called? 0 hour still? Is that what they're
Zero,
still
yeah.
calling it?
I just call it pre-show, but technically, yes, 0 hour.
0 hour.
It's on YouTube, so you can watch it for free on there, by the way.
Nice. So we had Action Andretti and Darius Martin, who I really enjoyed those two as a tag team, especially since Darius' brother is out with injury. Getting the victory over the Workhorsemen, Anthony Henry and JD Drake. It's nice to see them still with AEW in ROH. I like those two. They're good hard workers.
Underrated talents, by the way.
Absolutely. The returning legit Layla Hirsch getting a victory over Trish Adora via submission. We had AR Fox defeating Shane Taylor via pinfall. Gravity getting the victory over Commander, also via pinfall.
This is main show now, by the way. The Gravity
Correct.
match.
Yeah, Gravity and Commander was the beginning of the match. That's right. There were 4 on the pre-show or on the 0 hour, and 7 on the main card. The next match was Samoa Joe defeating Dalton Castle by technical submission to retain his ROH Television Championship.
No towels were thrown in that match. It was just basically Joe put him to sleep.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever. We had a 4-way tag team match for the ROH Tag Team Championships, which was won by Aussie Open.
Oi.
The sigh from Ethan because he picked Aussie Open at the beginning and then he changed his pick at the last
one time I change a pick.
This is why you go with your gut, even if you're wrong.
I know. Leave me alone.
The next match after that was for the 6-man tag team championships. It was the Mogul Embassy getting the big victory over Leon Ruffin, Master Wado, and oh god, I'm gonna butcher this name.
Wait. Let me do it. Where's Gucci?
Thank you. Because I was not gonna say that, so I'm glad that you did.
I'm not trying to be a dick. It's just I know Sam by the way, Sam, you were close on Utami's name on Power Slam. You were super close, so you get a fucking pass. I know he said I might get mad at him. So
it's so funny when we do Power Slam and there's anybody Japanese, he's like, Ethan's gonna absolutely destroy me, but I'm gonna try anyways.
I was like, by the way, I wasn't trying to be a dick with Scott. I was like, I'm on here. I'll help him out. Don't worry.
I mean, you are the Japanese wrestling master of this group, so it's I will definitely defer to you on that.
But he was close though. I don't mean same joke around, but he was actually super close on Utami. Nice. So sorry, Scott. Before we keep going, I know we're going crazy. So the actual name say her name. So he got Utami right. So that was correct. The way you say her last is Hayashishita.
Like, yeah, he was close. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's like basically take the cash and just take the take part. And I high shit. But he was super close though, so he gets a pass from me, so it's okay.
Nice. Little pat
anyway, speaking of New Japan.
Right. The next match was our Pure Wrestling championship match. It was, I'm just not going to say his first name, but it was Shibata getting the victory over Daniel Garcia. Unfortunately, there was no extra dancing after this match.
Well, during this match, so actually speaking of dancing, since Scott brought, there was a funny spot here before we keep going. So Shibata, he was doing the dance like Garcia, and Shibata's like, "Oh my god!" So he plops down, right? And then Garcia sits down and he's going and then he puts him in the sleeper hole and Garcia's going,
oh my god, seriously? Oh, yeah, that's so great. Oh, I love okay.
So he was putting him in the chokehold in the sleeper hole and Garcia's literally dancing and then he just falls asleep. I'm like, Scott's missing this, man. Oh my god. The one time I need him to show him some.
That's fantastic. I love that so much.
I'll tell our reigns after each match, but sport. This one's a recommendation.
Nice. All right. So our 10th match of the night was a fight without honor. These are always normally pretty fun. Was the Dark Order getting the victory over Stu Grayson and the Righteous. Obviously, somebody's flying away. I heard that in the background. I'm like, wait a minute. Who's got the crotch rocket? What's going on here?
Oh, a Honda Civic, yeah.
Oh, the Honda Civic? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes plenty of sense. the ROH World Championship was next. It was Claudio getting the victory, retaining his title over Pac. And our main event, which I'm very happy that they gave these two the main event, it was Athena defeating Willow Nightingale to retain her ROH Women's Championship. The Forever Champion continues to move on.
Acknowledge her.
We acknowledge Athena here, even though none of us picked her to win.
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
Oh my god! So this show, actually, this episode was really good, even though they announced 5 matches till like literally the night before. So I'll just give ratings super quick. So the pre-show 0 hour, I'm calling it pre-show. I don't give a fuck anymore.
All right.
Woods and Williams 7 out of 10. The tag match gets a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Layla and Trish, I think I also gave 6 out. I said it in the group chat and I already forgot. 6 out of 10. Air Fox and Shane Taylor gets 7 out of 10. And then main show, Gravity and Commander gets 7 out of 10. TV title match, I gave a 6 out of 10. The tag team title match, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Worst match on the show, my opinion, the 6-man tag title match, 5 out of 10. That's a skippable match. Pure title match, 7 out of 10. Fight Without Honor, 7 out of 10. Before I keep going, so the Fight Without Honor, there were some spots where Dutch went off the stage for a barbed wire table. Grayson got this like big fucking tall ladder, almost like kind of like you ever go to like grocery stores or a college and they have those big ladders doing the roofs.
Oh yeah.
So he gets on the ladder and he's pretty high. I say probably like maybe 4th rung from the top. Yep. So Uno gets in the ring and he pulls the ladder. There's 2 tables on the outside, like not stacked, like side by side.
Yeah,
you probably know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
So, but Grayson kind of, I think for him to go over the top rope, I think he got down a couple rungs. So, I mean, I don't want to be that high and go for them. Anyway, so Uno pulls the ladder like forward like this, and he goes, wee, right through them. I'm like, and I'm so glad he put his head up. I thought he smacked his head on the, I'm like,
yikes.
I was like, thank God. He went like this. I was like, oh, okay, he's okay. And then they put him away with the Ragnar bomb. But, I mean, this match, if you want a hardcore match from WWE 2000s, that's your match right there.
Okay.
Legos, thumbtacks, barbed wire bats, a boot with thumbtacks, Matt Jackson spot, I call it.
Right. Exactly.
But this one, I just want 7 out of 10. The world title match, 8 out of 10. A women's title match, 9 out of 10.
Nice. I like that both pay-per-views ended strong. I like that. I think that's pretty good.
I'm so glad so out of the 3 between Athena and Willow, all 3 were great. If I had to go in order, I say the Death Force Honor match is first. Their Rampage match, the Owen Hart Cup, was second. And then their first Ring of Honor match from February or March, it was February was like, it was good, but if I had to give a rating, I'd say that'd be my least favorite. But they gave these two 20 and a half minutes. I'm like, they beat the shit out of each other.
That's
in a good way.
Right.
I mean, I think it's been great, man. I think her leaving WWE, I don't know if you want to count this a hot take or not. Best thing she's done was leave that WWE.
I agree. I mean, when she came to AEW, she floundered a little bit in the beginning, especially when everybody going against Jade was not going anywhere. Even though I think she should have been the one. I still stick to this. When she came in, she had so much momentum behind her. She should have been the one to take out Jade. I mean, no offense to
she
Chris,
stood up, yeah.
No offense to Chris Statlander at all, because she's a phenomenal champion and wrestler in her own right. But I don't know. I just feel like AEW dropped the ball with that. But again, that's a whole nother a whole nother can of worms that we talked about before.
Show.
Yeah.
So if I had to pick 2 matches, basically the last 2 matches, the 2 title matches, but if basically for me, honestly, anything 7 and over, go check out.
Yeah, so that's pretty much most of the show, which is good. That's good.
7, I mean, like 7 out of 12 matches. That's a pretty good score.
That's pretty good.
Overall score, like if I had to give it overall for Great American Bash overall score, 8 out of 10. Death Force Honor, 7 or 8 out of 10. Only matches I say skip. The only match I would skip from Death Force is the 6-man tag title match. Right. Honestly.
Right. Okay.
And now we go to the points.
Well, yes. Our next points that we have on the line are for SummerSlam, which we will be doing a pick show for that actually this week. That will be coming out, I believe, Friday, I believe. SummerSlam is on Saturday.
Thank God.
Right. It's actually kind of funny, and I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it here too. I'm actually going to be at Boston Fan Expo this Saturday. I'm going to be joining some of the Ship It Studios fellas that are on the film side of things. And we're actually going to be doing a fantasy draft, talk about movie franchises and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. This is actually going to be my first convention ever as a fan or as a panelist. It's still hasn't hit me yet. I'm pretty sure it's going to hit me on Friday when I'm traveling down to Boston. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So I will actually not be live tweeting SmackDown or SummerSlam because of it. But that's okay. We're still going to talk about it. We'll do our picks on Thursday. Everything will come out on Friday, and then we'll go through the weekend. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to this weekend. I just want to get a godforsaken point in this Ship It Studios Championship because your boy over here has not gotten a single damn point, and I'm watching everybody else take off, and it's just like I don't know what's going on. And it's so frustrating because I've been second or third in every single point show that we've had, but I have not been able to get even a tie for first. So I'm sitting there with a big fat 0 watching everybody else run away with this. And I know that there's still plenty of shows left in this year. There's still Ship It in the bank whenever Zach decides that he's going to pick a show for all of us to go out and watch.
Come on, champ, hurry up.
Figure out. He's got to the end of the year, so the man has time. But yes, want to talk about points for these two shows. Craziness happens, and I think it's hilarious. Both Ethan and John the Statman both tied for the win for both shows. So they both get 2 points. John now has his first 2 points of the year. And our friend here, Mr. Man in Black himself, Ethan, now has 4 points, has taken sole possession of first place in season 3 of Ship It Studios Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. So Ethan, I will give you some time to gloat. I'll give you some time to pat yourself on the back. If you want to talk trash to Sam, Zach, and John, and even myself, go ahead. I give you the floor. It's all yours, sir.
Sweet. All right, you beady-eyed bastard. Hey, Zach, remember when you said you had some tough competition? Well, bitch, guess who's ahead of you?
Fantastic.
And Sam, your boy Shooter's losing G1 so far, so I mean, I'm still confident.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, for those of you who don't know, if you like I said, you need to go back and listen to the Rising Sun episodes that we have on all the streaming platforms.
And the post show from I Did Bang, that's how it started.
Exactly. Sam and Ethan actually have a little bet going on for one of the Ship It Studios points. That if either either Sam or Ethan win G1, they steal a point from the other.
Yeah.
But if neither of their guys make to the finals, nobody loses anything. So it's
So Sam can still tie with me technically by SummerSlam and G1, but we won't fully know until after. But basically, so Sam picked Shota Umino to win, and then me has Will Ospreay. But like Scott said, if basically anyway, but those two win, then draw.
It's valid, exactly. Yeah, nobody takes a point from one another, and you keep going on. But
as of right now, basically, I would stay at 4. Sam stays at 3.
Correct.
I'm just going by scores right now because we still got SummerSlam. But
exactly, yeah. So we'll have that next point. Hopefully, I'm the one who gets it. I really desperately need it. I'm tired of being so far behind everybody else. But yeah, it's.
I don't want to go out too bad because karma might bite me in the ass.
No, and honestly, I respect that because some people would just kind of go off, talk about how they're kicking everybody's butt and everything's. Ethan, shots fired.
The bang bang gang.
Perfect. Yes, Absolutely. But yeah, that's been Death Before Dishonor and NXT's Great American Bash. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate everybody who popped in, said hello, gave us your thoughts. We truly appreciate you. Again, my name is Scott. I am the wrestling's voice of reason. Apparently not this so far this season, but that's okay. The season is still young. With me today, obviously, is the man in black himself, Ethan. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. SummerSlam, like I said, is right around the corner. We'll do our pre-show for it. We'll do our post-show afterwards. It's going to be a lot of fun. The summer's heating up. Wrestling's doing great on all fronts. Most importantly, guys, make sure you follow us on all streaming platforms. Follow us on all of the social medias. Most importantly, though, do not forget to ship it and join the bedlam. Have a good night, guys.